Hello there, I'm George Hall, and welcome back to the Good Growth Podcast. Now, Game of Thrones has House of the Dragon, Breaking Bad had Better Call Saul, and Cheers had Frasier. And now the Good Growth Podcast has its very own spin-off, Analytics Anonymous. Fear not, we won't be going anywhere, you won't need to subscribe to anything new or get past a pesky paywall to access anything, but every couple of weeks we'll be bringing you a shorter, bite-sized and more data and analytics-focused podcast. I'm joined by two Good Growth Podcast stalwarts, two heavyweights. Firstly, Mike Duke, Good Growth's Chief Product Officer, and also David Watkins, Head of Experimentation and Research here at Good Growth. Gents, great to have you both here, as always. Analytics Anonymous, look, where has this come from? What does it mean? What's it all about? Tell me more.
Mike here, great to be back on again. So what is Analytics Anonymous? It's actually a discipline we have within the business already, within Good Growth and within the data, insight, analytics, experimentation teams. Essentially, every couple of weeks, sometimes more, rarely less, we all get together in a room. So everyone who's involved in data, customer insight, experimentation, etc., gets together in a room, and we spend between 2 and 3 hours having very detailed, very complex, nuanced conversations about data and everything that goes alongside that, statistics, mathematical principles, and just going into detail around how we process data, how we think about data, the challenges we're facing and how we respond to them. And they're fascinating sessions because a lot of our unique processes and ways of thinking come out of them. So how do we apply statistics and scientific principles to the challenges of customer insight comes out of these Analytics Anonymous sessions.
I suppose they work quite well as quite open discussions, don't they? A bit like a round table. We've got some fascinating backgrounds in that data team. Mike, I know you in particular have quite an interesting background, right?
Well, I'm not sure about interesting. It's slightly strange. So my background is in biological sciences. I'm a biologist. I'm not a marketeer or data scientist. I'm a pure scientist. And a lot of the conversations that we have actually revolve almost more around scientific principles than analytical principles. And David as well, I'll hand over to yourself, but you're not a typical data analyst either.
No, I mean, with background in mathematics, I mean, one of the things that we do as part of these sessions is very much interrogate more than just what are the numbers, what is the mathematics. It's also looking into very much this sort of understanding that we can drive through knowing 100% what are we reporting. So an example, for these sessions is we spent half a day fully understanding what a session is in GA4, which is a lot more of a complicated question than it would seem. But really understanding that really helps to convey that to clients and actually understand what we are actually reporting. And that's one of the good things about Good Growth and the way that we approach data and insight is that we really do understand what we're telling our clients.
Well, I did wonder how long it would take for the three of us to get onto GA4. It always happens when we're together, and I think that was about 3.5 minutes for anyone keeping time. You mentioned then a little bit about what you've been talking about. What else has been going on in your in-person AA sessions recently? What's been discussed? And then off the back of that, what kind of things can we expect from AA podcast episodes?
No, good question. So a couple of what have we been talking about in the last sort of 4 weeks or so, I would say, in our Analytics Anonymous workshops. So the most recent has been a rich conversation around statistical significance, how it applies to A/B testing, and actually as a result of that, we were kind of the conclusion that almost every A/B testing platform has it the wrong way around, and they give you part of the story, but they don't give you the entire story. So that conversation was over the course of about 3-4 hours. Where that's led us to now is we've developed and built out a new way of processing A/B test results that account for more levels of interrogation than just is conversion rate elevated. So that's an interesting kind of commercial application of a statistical conversation. That was the most recent. In the one before that, we went even further down the rabbit hole. We tried to see if we could create formula, so a mathematical formula to describe the likelihood of a customer to top up their basket value to reach a free delivery threshold. So a lot of the work we're doing at the moment is on delivery propositions. What is the ideal cost of delivery? What is the ideal free delivery threshold? We wanted to see if we could get a sort of an idiomatic formula that lets us do that. So you take basket value, quantity, intent, desire, etc., and could we put together a way of thinking? We kind of got there. It's obviously fairly tricky, but the thinking has informed some modeling that we're now working on to actually describe that challenge.
Well, it does sound like these episodes are going to be relevant not just to data lovers and analysts, but also to stakeholders, marketers, business leaders, and decision makers as well. David, how confident are you that you can get these 3 to 4 hour brainstorming sessions down into a 5 to 10 minute podcast? I mean, I know if there's anyone who can do it, it's you.
These are the whole point of these Analytics Anonymous sessions is so that we can get the understanding to then be able to convey that in a meaningful manner to our clients. So these podcasts and this series will really be the bite-sized chunks of the work that we do in the background to understand and really bring these ideas to the forefront and to clients in a way that they can action and make decisions off them.
Perfect. And I've been told as well, we can expect to hear from more guests than normal. We've got the whole data team being roped in for this one.
Yes, I think roped in is probably the right metaphor. No, we have quite a wide data and technical team here at Good Growth. So there'll be more voices than just mine and David's. And hopefully we'll be joined by some of our client stakeholders, external data teams who we work with, because we have some very interesting conversations with them as well. So hopefully not just Good Growth team will be on this podcast.
Well, more guests, more topics, more insights. It's been absolutely brilliant to hear what's coming up and to speak to you both today. So thank you very, very much for your time, Mike and David, as always. Really looking forward to seeing what happens. And thanks to all of you at home for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you.